Now that you're all set up with your environment and hopefully have a good idea of what React Native is all about, we'll start cutting some actual code on our app. This module will take you through building up the view for the login screen, which will wire up to login to GitHub in the next module. During the process of building this view, I'll introduce you to creating a new React component. I'll show you how to reference and display this new component. To build this view, we need to reference components from the React module. We're going to use a bunch of components for the first time, including the image component, the text input component, and the touchable highlight component. We'll also use Flexbox to lay out our login view. I've split the screen with Sublime Text on the left and the simulator on the right. This is to allow you to see what effect the code has, with minimal back and forth between our text editor and the simulator. In the simulator, we invoke the dev menu by pressing Command-Control-Z and click on the Enable Live Reload menu option. That's right, live reload on a native iOS app. We're living in the future. To test this setup, I change the value of the message variable and save it out. Great stuff, the simulator immediately reflects the changes. In Sublime, I create a login.js file. As it is good practice, we enable strict mode for this JavaScript file. This is just to keep us from being naughty without realizing it. It turns bad syntax into real errors. One example where it helps is it will prevent us from assigning to undeclared variables, and thus inadvertently creating a new global level variable. React Native relies on Node.js. This doesn't mean that it executes as Node.js on the iOS device. The part that runs in Node is the React packager, which generates the pure JavaScript that is executed by the JavaScript core engine on the device. For us, this means that most of the while we'll be coding in Node, using npm to install packages and CommonJS to work with modules. To pull in React Native, we require the React-Native module. We start building our login component by calling the create class function on the React module. The create class function expects an object literal containing the definition for the component. All components in React need to provide a render function. From the render function, we should return a tree of elements that represents our component. A tree usually has only one trunk, and our component's render function should return only one element as well. That said, this element can contain any number of descendant elements. In this render function, we're first going to do something simple before we start laying out the login screen for real. We use JSX syntax to return a text element with a string in it. If you don't know React, this might all seem a bit weird to you. This is JSX, a flavor of JavaScript that allows you to declaratively define an element tree from within JavaScript. It might look a bit weird now, but you'll get used to it.